This is the second video in my Voron journey, and I can tell you right now, this has not gone how I expected it to. I started out with a fully functional Trident. Kind of. I mean, it printed, it just didn't print well. It had a dragon burner on it, one fan didn't work, no LEDs, and the bed was looser than... it was loose.
And maybe we could just move on.
All that contributed to the crappy print quality, I'm sure. So I wanted to make it mine, right? And I really don't print a lot of PLA, so I don't need the dragon burner. I don't need all that part cooling. And I love the way the stealth burner works. So my plan was to upgrade to the stealth burner. I love how it hides all the wiring. I like that sheath and just the shape of the tool head. I like looking at it. That's the printer I want. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna install the belts, the LEDs, the tool head, and then talk about everything that went wrong. And maybe you can help me fix it. Let's get started. We're going to try to get these belts lined up so that the words are facing the right direction, because before they weren't. And because I have this Ling, I can't do it. So Miss Filament Factory is going to install the belt. It looks like it's going pretty quick, but this belt install actually took about 20 to 25 minutes. But that's it, and it's done.
And all the words are facing the right direction.
That is what's most important. Since I'm switching to stealth burner and I want to use the cartographer, I decided to pick up a CNC carriage from Vitali 3D. This is a pretty nice piece. It comes with all the screws you need to get it mounted. It even comes with the spacers to mount the cartographer. And it only takes a couple minutes to get the whole thing mounted. I think those are good. And that might end up needing to be tightened a little more. And see this, when we pull this forward and back, this does not move.
Yeah.
That's what you want. We're gonna get this LED strip installed. This is the carriage that holds it. The LED stick actually just slides into it. And then these are the little brackets that mount to the frame. And you can see Miss Filament Factory already put the heat inserts in there. She did an excellent job on that.
These are the light strips we bought. They're called Daylight on a Stick. And we got them from KB 3D, and very impressed with their customer service. They answer the phone, super helpful.
And that's a big thing, right? When you call some of these places, sometimes they don't answer or the phone doesn't connect. KB 3D, you call, they answer the phone. The person that you're talking to is very knowledgeable. And I don't know what the dollar amount was, but for the free shipping, but whatever it was, we triggered it. We got free shipping on this. And it arrived in what, like three days?
Just a couple days. Very, very swift.
Yeah, great company. Just for the record, I paid full price for everything here. They're not sponsoring me or this video.
So let's take this out.
When you get these LEDs, they come in the package with just this PCB, right? There's no wiring at all. And flip it over, show them. Now on the back, there's the plug you're going to plug your wiring into. I already snipped this one off. Do you have the other one?
So this was right here, something like that.
Yep. And then what we did is we just snipped this off. Make sure you wear safety glasses when you cut this off, guys, because this thing went shooting across the room.
It'll take an eye out.
She ain't lying. All right. Now, because this comes like this, if you don't already have the wires, you're going to have to buy some wires. Now, I picked this up off Amazon, and I think this was a 4-pack, and it looks like we're going to probably use 3 of them to get this job done. This piece here, this was all 3D printed. I'm going to have the links for this in the description.
All right, and then once you take that little thing off the back we showed you, you're just going to get the bottom 2 channels and then slide this in, maybe. There we go. All the way in, and then you're good to go. Now,
the last thing we're going to do once we get that installed is this was also printed. I printed this with PCTG. I did 100% infill, which I don't know if that was the right decision or not. I wanted to try to get it as clear as possible, but we'll see how it turns out, right? This PCTG is very flexible and it has a pretty high heat rating, so I think it's going to be just fine. But once we get it all installed, this will slide in. But we're not going to do that just yet.
But it'll cover like this,
Yep,
basically, inside
exactly.
that channel.
If you do it out of something like this, that's pretty flexible, there's plenty of room to actually slide this into the channel once it's already mounted to the frame. We'll show you that next. Here you can see the LED strip is already mounted. You can see the little mounts I bolted right into the frame, and the wiring is plugged in and ran all the way back to the board. All that's left is to put the diffuser strip in. When it comes to putting these diffusers on, you can do it after the fact. It's a little bit tricky because right here, you kind of have to bow this in a little bit, but I think it's so much easier to just mount this, especially with the mounts I chose that have the screws that come up. You literally cannot put this diffuser on first. You have to do it last. But if you print this with something flexible, it's going to be not a problem at all. It just slides right in. And that's it. When I got this printer, it originally came with this, I think it's called an Orbiter, and it has this LDO board on it, but I think it's like called a 36 or a 34 or something. It's not what I needed anyways, but it does have the Nitehawk umbilical ran, and it has all the Nitehawk boards on the bottom. So what we did is I reached out to KB3D because I'm going to switch this over to a stealth burner setup because I already had everything printed. So what we got from KB so far was we got these two fans for the hot end. And the nice thing about this fan is they already split it in half, and they took off like all the little, I don't know what they are, the little clips or the little nubby pieces that stick out, the screw mounts. They already stripped all that away for you. And I think they sell these two fans as a little kit. It worked out pretty good. So I bought that, and then I bought this cartographer cable because this printer came set up with cartographer, and the Nitehawk-SB toolboard does not have a spot for the cartographer. So I have to get this plugs right onto the cartographer, and then this end is just a USB-A that's going to plug either back into the Manta or into the Pi. But I'm going to run this back alongside the umbilical all the way back to the electronics bay. And lastly, we cannot forget the Nitehawk-SB toolboard kit. It comes with two toolboards. You can see this one mounts on the back of the shroud, and it has all the wiring already plugged in for the LEDs and the two fans. And then this side mounts to the extruder, and then they just plug in together. And that shroud actually hides all the wiring. It's a very nice and clean looking setup. I'll spare you all the boring install of all these parts, and we'll skip here to where everything is put together, which leads me to the first real problem I came across. You can see the cartographer is mounted and the cable's plugged in, and the cords ran all the way back to the electronics bay. That's where I found out that my Pi does not have a USB port, because it's a Pi Compute Lite, not your standard Pi that you would see on a printer. And when I tried to plug the USB into the Manta board, it just wouldn't recognize it, no matter what I tried. I even called KB3D. They didn't exactly know what the problem was either, but we think that the Manta board just does not put out enough voltage on that USB port to power the cartographer. I'm not really sure. I still don't know. Well, that left me in a predicament. I tried everything I could, and I couldn't figure it out. So it's time to change gears. And I'm going to switch up to the tap. Now, when I bought this printer, it came with a box of spare parts, and in that box was a brand new setup for tap. The previous owner never even installed it. It looks like he went straight for the cartographer from the get. And that's good for me. I mean, I would rather use the cartographer, but since I can't figure it out, let's switch gears and get tap installed.
Tap, 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 tap.
I think I only had to print about 3 pieces, and I already had the magnets I needed in that box. Like I said, everything was in there. Even this little circuit board for the tap was in there. Everything seemed to be working fine. I could probe the bed. I went through all the settings, got the bed set up, the new hot end, everything, all the self-testing, everything is working the way it should. I'm pretty sure I even got a bed mesh done, but then I kept getting these strange errors. and then I'd have to restart the printer. So what do? I went to the internet and I spent hours running down rabbit holes that led me nowhere. Finally, I decided, let's give ChatGPT a try, which was also an equal waste of time. I uploaded the Clippy log to ChatGPT, and what ChatGPT did tell me that I think was legitimate was that there was a conflict between the Nitehawk-SB and the Manta. Something about the way it was configured in my printer config, because the Manta was labeled as CAN, but I was using the Nitehawk as CAN. The whole thing was a little bit confusing. I'm not sure. So I decided, let's just start over. I wiped and reflashed the Pi with a whole new setup, right? That was piece of cake. Pi is very easy to reinstall the OS, and I went with the Kaya installer. That was fantastic. Then working with the Manta. I tried to reflash the firmware. I could not make it work. So then, after hours of wasted time, I contacted Big Tree Tech and asked them, hey, is this possible to even use the Nitehawk-SB with the Manta? The person at Big Tree Tech that I was emailing back and forth with was supposed to try to talk to someone else that has more knowledge and then get back to me and let me know if it's possible. I've reached out a couple more times. I haven't heard anything back yet. I'm still hoping to hear back from them with some sort of solution. If you know how I could fix my issues, please tell. No.
I got my own issues.
Okay. Yeah.
How about this? If you know how to help me with my printer issues, please let me know. The other one, we could be here all day. We won't even get into that. Anyways, I might have to get the LDO Leviathan because I know that's made to work with the Nitehawk. I really don't want to do that though. I mean, I'm not opposed to the Leviathan. I had one in the past. It works fine. I like LDO, but I already have the Manta and I want to make it work. I want to work with what I already have instead of, I don't want the answer to be, let me say it this way. I don't want the answer to be, oh, there's a problem. Let's go buy something new. I would rather just fix the problem and use the machine I already have. I guess my goal with this printer right now is let's just get it running on tap. And then in the future, I can try to revisit the cartographer and get it set up because I do think that's a really good system and it's super fast. But right now, let's just get this thing printing. Let me real quick show you my printer config, at least this top section where you can see the Manta board, how it's identified, and the Nitehawk. And then this is the Clippy log. I'm just going to kind of zoom through here and then pause and then scroll through and then pause. And if you see anything that stands out, pause it, read it, let me know what you think because I'm really at a loss at this point. I don't want to have to buy the Leviathan, but I do really need this printer running. Well, thanks for watching the video. I'd like to say I hope you found this entertaining, informative. Maybe you learned something. I highly doubt that. If you did, you might be as messed up as I am. And, well, that's saying something.